Hey, what's up? This is Kristen Corpos from niftyknowledgerocks.com. So I'm coming to you via video today. I hopefully you've seen some of the podcasts. So we've been doing some podcasts with lots of great information. And I said, let me go to Videoland. Let me check out Videoland and see what that's like. So the other day I did a podcast about insurance, and it's 45 minutes long, so it's pretty long. But today I wanted to do a short video for you guys out there in Videoland about some of the things that you should be thinking about for your photography business when it comes to getting insurance. One of the things I think is really important is general liability insurance, and it's often overlooked by photographers because they think it's too expensive. They think, wow, that's just too much money, I can't get it. And one of the things about insurance is it's like, you pay for it and you're like, you don't see the return right away. It's not like you buy a new fancy lens and you're like, whoa, look at that bokeh, right? You pay for business insurance, and when you see the return and the reward is when you actually need it. So yeah, it's insurance. You don't know if you'll ever need it, but it's peace of mind, which is what is so beautiful about insurance. So I have liability insurance. It's one of the first things I got when I started my business. It is also coupled with equipment insurance so that my camera gear is all protected and insured. And I also have errors and omissions insurance. Today, I'm just going to talk about general liability insurance. So what you may have heard of in the past, maybe other photographers talking, or you've come into this situation, is that you're going to maybe shoot at a venue, and the venue calls you up or has your bride or groom tell you that they need a certificate of insurance, a COI. What is a COI? It sounds foreign. What is that? So what this means is that when you have liability insurance and somebody asks you for a certificate of insurance, they're asking you for proof, documentation that you do have insurance, that you are covered. Also, this certificate will say what your policy covers. Does it cover $1 million? Does it cover $2 million? What type of insurance is it? And when a venue asks for a certificate of insurance, there's a good chance that they might ask you to have them listed as an additional insured on the day of the event that you're shooting. So on that wedding date. And that might be their corporate name, Holiday Inn of America Corporations. Incorporated rather, so that's what they mean when they ask for that. So if somebody asks you for a certificate of insurance and you have no idea what you're talking about, you either didn't see this video or you don't have liability insurance. So get liability insurance, super, super important. What's it going to do for you if you have it? Well, it's going to protect you and your assets and your business profits from being taken away. Liability comes down to a situation where, let's say, you have a heavy flash or something and somebody walks into it and it falls on their head, and then they've got like $2,000 in medical bills and they're suing you because you've done wrong. Your flash fell on them and it hurt them and they want their money from you. And so this type of liability policy is going to protect you in that situation. And it also protects you not only from, somebody getting hurt, but also if you break something. So let's say you're shooting in a hotel and you hung the gown up, you're taking pretty pictures, you're on the floor, you swing your leg out and you knock over some really expensive ornate statue and it falls to pieces and you break it. Okay, well, liability insurance is going to help cover that property damage for you. So, the hotel says you need to replace this, it's $2,000, and you're like, oh man, that sucks. Well, liability insurance, you can turn towards your liability insurance to help you protect you out there. So, liability insurance, really, really, really important to have, and it's not that expensive. So as I said when I started, I've got my liability insurance, my equipment insurance, and an errors and omissions policy. I pay over $700 a year, but in general, the price varies on your location. So it could be, usually it starts around $400. So it's going to vary depending on your location. Where are you located? Are you in a higher risk area? Are you in a flood zone? You're near the ocean? All those things. But then your cost is also going to depend on how much camera gear you have. Right? So if you have $20,000 in camera gear, your policy might cost more than somebody that has $10,000 in camera gear. And that's going to make a difference in the price of the policy. So I say it's not expensive. So when I say $700, it seems like it's really expensive, but you can actually pay quarterly or you can pay monthly. There are payment plans. So if if you're going to pay like $60 monthly, that's going to make me feel a lot better for peace of mind, knowing that if something happens, I am covered. And I said, when I was talking about liability, I used an example of, medical bills that might be small. But you never know what can happen. Like big things can happen, and it could be pretty scary if somebody's coming after you, suing you for $50,000 because of something you did. Maybe they tripped over a tree stump and they injured their neck and they have all sorts of back injuries now and they're blaming you. It's nice to know that you're protected in that sort of situation. So some of the other types of insurance I'll just cover quickly here too that I mentioned was the camera gear insurance. So maybe you're just starting your business and you only have like $1,000 in camera gear. This type of insurance might not be worth it for you right now because you might want to wait till you get $5,000, $10,000. But what this does is it really protects your gear if anything happens to it, whether it gets stolen or you fall off a dock into a body of water and everything that was hanging on your body is now completely damaged. These types of policies help pay for the replacement of your photography equipment. And if this is what you're doing as a business, that's super important because let's say you lose $10,000 worth of gear because you fell into a lake or whatever the case may be. You want to be sure that you have, the money or the means to buy the equipment you need to replace to be able to keep shooting all those shoots you have booked, all those weddings you have booked. So that's why equipment insurance is super, super important and definitely something to look into. And like I said, it's affordable. Some places that you can go look for this stuff, I use Hill & Usher. They're an agent. They offer something called Package Choice. You can find them at conferences like WPPI, Imaging USA. They usually have a table. They've been really great. Their insurance is provided through the Hartford. So I pay my bill to the Hartford, but Hill & Usher is my agent. And so they help me facilitate my certificate of insurance, my COIs that I need to get depending on venue requests. And they also help keep my list of equipment updated because that's what you're going to have to do when you insure your photography equipment. You're going to need to provide them with a detailed schedule listing out all your equipment that you're insuring. So the brand, what it is, the value of it, as well as the serial number, so that they have a list of what you're insuring. You're going to have to update that from time to time, depending on what you buy, what you sell, how that works out. Other place to get this type of insurance is PPA. So if you're a member of PPA, they have some really good stuff going on. And I've heard other photographers who have gotten their insurance through a company called Marsh. And State Farm happens to be another one. So check with your insurance agent too. The one big thing I want to make sure I say before I close out this video is don't assume that your homeowner's insurance or your renter's insurance is going to cover any loss of your business property. So, your camera, if you're using your camera for business and you have a photography business and something happens to it, chances are if you try to make a claim under your homeowner's insurance, they're going to tell you, sorry, that's business property. We only cover your personal property. Okay, so don't make that mistake because that really sucks. Check with your insurance agent. Ask them about what you currently have. Ask them if they have any particular policies that would be a good fit for your small business, your photography business, or contact somebody like Hill & Usher. Wow, that was a lot of information. All right, my name is Kristen Corpos. Check out niftyknowledgerocks.com. You can find our podcast on iTunes. Do a search for Nifty Knowledge Rocks on iTunes or Photography Business, and you'll find us there. And until next time, thanks for tuning in. Take care.